Yeah, I think it's really important that the organization have a smaller core team between 5 to 7 people. That is a team that can, really get things done. And so having that smaller, diverse team is really important. So diverse meaning a team from a number of different places within the organization. The organization can have a larger team, maybe a steering committee that they meet with about once a quarter. That's fine, but making sure that the team is kind of a smaller team that can quickly take action is really important. So I recommend that there are a number of different roles in the team. I mean, each organization has their own probably very specific type of roles that are needed, but at its core, you need a champion, you need an energy champion or sustainability champion or a decarbonization champion who is accountable to the results, who will oversee the team, who will kind of schedule the meetings and make sure everything's on track. And then you need a data specialist. That person is going to make sure that they're able to gather all the data, to track progress to goal, to really kind of display the results of the team. It's an extremely important role that I think a lot of teams don't have, and it kind of goes back to this idea that we need to communicate the success so that there'll be more success in the future. Then we need kind of a technical person. So, decarbonization is ultimately a technical exercise. You need equipment that is changed out. You need to have new methods of doing things at your organization. And so you definitely need that technical person, facilities or engineering, or someone who understands the equipment within the organization. And then finally, I recommend a champion of engagement, of employee engagement. So an initiative like this ultimately is actually an initiative of the entire organization. And so having somebody who will, maybe from human resources or corporate comms or something along those lines, it's really key that role exists so that you can communicate the good work that's being done by the team. Yeah, I think a team, especially a team that is just getting started, should meet fairly regularly. I would say, every 2 weeks they should be meeting, and the amount of time that's needed depends on how big of a goal and how quickly you are trying to reduce your footprint, right? So really big goals, organizations that are trying to decarbonize quickly and have a lot of emissions that they're dealing with, they're going to need a lot more time, and it's going to take a lot more effort. And so depending on what the goals are, that varies a lot between organizations. But if we're talking about a modest amount of change over time, if you're looking out, if your goal is in 2050, right, or 2030, and that's a lot of time, you have time to get there, then I would recommend that the teams meet twice a week, that the champion has about 10 to 20% of their time in there, similar amounts of time for the team itself, maybe a little bit less than that. With the caveat that the bigger the goal, the more time you have to give. I always say that you get out of these type of initiatives what you put into it, and so more time means probably more change and more quickly. So really just examine your goals and understand what you're trying to get to, and that'll help you understand how much time you should put into it. So what I recommend is that you do 2 things up front. First, you start that baselining effort. You spend, however long it takes to get to a good baseline so you understand, your foundation. And second, you look for really quick opportunities. It's what we call quick wins. You look for opportunities that you can do right now in your organization that you're able to really move the needle right away. What that's going to do is it's going to give you a reason to keep going. It's going to give you guys some quick savings that you'll be able to measure, so that it feels like you're making progress even while you're still gathering your data. The one piece of advice that I would give is to be very clear about and deliberate about the role of all the members of the team, but especially the executive sponsor. So the executive sponsor will be the one that, makes sure that the team has the resources that they need, that, they're meeting on a regular basis, that they're, that they are actually being reported, their efforts are being reported out to the organization and to the other executives. So it's really important that that role be very clearly defined. And they also tend to be the busiest and the most difficult to kind of pin down. And so it's really important that there's a clear roadmap for that role. And it's very specific. Like, we want you to attend one meeting every quarter. We want you to report out to the board, once a year. And here are the bullets that we will give you information for to report out on. And so having that very clearly defined and clearly laid out is an extremely important piece to ensure the success of the team.